Alright guys, welcome back. Alright, so this is the second part to what I started with the addition with integers. I want to talk about subtraction with integers. So if we're looking at this example here where we have 12 minus 5, there's no confusion on that part. We know exactly what that equation is. It's 12 minus 5. We know 12 minus 5 is 7. And as you see on the number line, it says that we're going to be moving it to the left. And we're just going to the left 5 units. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's not a problem. That's no issue at all. Now, when we look at something like this is where things start to get a little bit more confusing. Okay, so I want to go here for a second and I want us to focus on this area right here. Let's look at these two expressions. This expression, how would you say this top part right here? This top part right here, how would you say that? I'm hoping that you guys said -2 plus 3, right? Now this bottom one here, how would you say that expression? Again, I'm hoping you said 3 minus 2 and not 3 negative 2. The thing of it is you're looking at this -2 and you're looking at this -2. I'm hoping on the first one that you don't say -2 plus 3, and on the second one you don't say 3 negative 2. No, that's wrong. That's a -2 plus 3, and that second one is 3 minus 2. Now, what is the difference between a minus and a negative? The only difference is where is it written in the expression? They both carry the same, what's the word? They both carry the same weight. What do I mean by that? The -2 is the exact same, the -2 here is the exact same thing as the -2. Both of those will be decreasing the value of the expression by 2. They both are the same. It's just they have different names. -2 here because the 2 is in the front of the expression. -2 here because this -2 is within the expression. Both of those decrease the value of the expression by 2. So if we're looking at this, we're looking at a -2 plus 3. Well, the answer would be a +1 because we have 3 positive and 2 that are negative. 3 minus 2, once again, we're decreasing the value of the expression by 2. Okay, so -2 is -2 because it's in the front, and this is -2 because it's within the expression. But the value of the expression both is being decreased by 2. Let's get into this here. So looking at this expression says -2 minus 5. Now keep in mind what I just said. That -5 is going to decrease the value of the expression. So what I generally say in this is if you look at that, the signs here are the same. Even though this is a minus sign, both of these have a negative connotation to it, meaning that the value is both going to be decreasing. In this particular instance, whenever these signs here are the same, meaning both of them are going to be decreasing it, you're going to add those two. Okay? Now, what do you mean, Mr. George? I'm going to add those two. You're going to add the value of that. So we're looking at a 2 and a 5, right? 2 and a 5. You're adding the 2 and the 5. 2 plus 5 gives you a 7, right? But it's not going to be a +7 because the sign here or the expression or the value here on both of these are decreasing. So it's going to be a -7. Okay? You see that here expressed on the number line. You have the 2, and once again we're moving to the left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we arrive at the -7. Let's take a look at this next one. All right, so now looking at this, you have 3 minus a -5. Now, whenever you have this minus a negative, that minus a negative is actually going to change to a plus sign. So if I'm looking at, let's say, this one right here, let me select my drawing tool. Will this let me do it? It's not going to let me do it. So, looks like I may have to end up writing here. So I'm going to just type this in. So right here where you see this minus a negative, that minus a negative really is going to become 2 plus 5. So anytime you see the minus a negative, you basically will cross that out, and that will become a plus sign. Let me say that again. Anytime you have minus a negative, that minus a negative crosses out and it simply becomes an addition sign. This is really what that expression becomes. So if I'm looking at this one right here, I got negative 6 plus, well, let's go ahead and do this one. We know that 2 plus 5 is basically a 7, right? I know that's ugly 7. Hey, don't judge me, all right? Let me see you draw a better 7. Anyways, so now looking at this expression here, we have negative 6. Negative 6 minus a negative 5. Remember, anytime those two are together, looks like a little person, that crosses out and it becomes a plus sign. So really, what we're looking at is we're looking at a negative 6 plus 5. Okay? Negative 6 plus 5. Remember, those signs are different. Whenever those signs are different, you're going to be subtracting. Okay? So you're basically looking at a 6 minus 5 now. 6 minus 5, which is 1. But the sign of the 6 is bigger, so that's really a negative 1. These are all critical things for you to understand as we get ready to transition to algebra. You have to understand these basic fundamentals, and that's what we're working on now. Basic fundamentals. Let's make sure we understand these, okay? If you guys got questions on that, feel free to ask me via the Google Meets when we meet later on today, or you can email me your questions. Let's get back into here. Okay, so looking at this expression now, we have negative 6 minus a negative 7. Same thing that we just mentioned on a second ago. This would actually become a plus. So that would be negative 6 plus 7 now. Just like we said, we're going to be adding to that, right? Negative 6 plus 7, that's a subtraction, right? Negative 6 plus 7. Let's actually go here to class kick and let's look at this. So we're looking at a negative 6, right? Plus 7, right? Just like we had the negative 6 plus 5, we're subtracting but keeping the sign of the bigger number. When you subtract negative 6 and 7, or 7 minus 6, you end up with a positive 1. So basically, when these signs are different, you're subtracting but you're keeping the sign of the bigger number. When the signs are different, meaning you have a negative sign here and you have that plus sign, which is the same as a positive, you're subtracting but you're keeping a bigger number. Let me say that again. You have a negative sign here, right? Plus, right? Plus, which is the same as positive because we're increasing the value. You're subtracting, but you're going to keep the sign of the bigger number. Let's go back here. I think we've already dealt with that. We've already dealt with that. Negative 12 minus 5 is the same as 12. Yes, this is exactly what I was just talking about. 12 minus 5 is the exact same thing as saying 12 plus a negative 5. You're decreasing the value of the expression by 5 units. Okay? Remember, negatives and minuses have the same value. They both decrease the value of the expression. So if you're looking at this, this is not to confuse you. 12 minus 5 is the same thing as saying 12 plus a negative 5. Negatives and minus both decrease the value. So I'm still decreasing the value of this top one by 5. Guess what? I'm decreasing the value of the bottom one by 5. Okay? See what we got here? So summarizing what was just said, if we're looking at this, so we have 27 minus 13. That's the same as saying 27 plus a negative 13. You're still decreasing the value by 13 units, which gives you 14. Let's look at this one right here. So if we have the 15 minus a negative 38, remember, those signs are the you have that negative and that minus sign together. That becomes an addition sign. We're adding now. Negative 19 minus 5. Okay? Negative 19 plus a negative 5. Okay? Those signs are the same. They both are decreasing the value of the expression because we have a negative 19 and we're decreasing that negative 19 by 5. So we're adding 19 and 5, right? But we're still keeping that negative sign. This is just a quick recap. All right? Finally, you have a negative 46. Here's that minus a negative. What do we do with a minus a negative? It becomes an addition, right? So we're going to subtract 46 and 32. That is 14. But notice that the sign of the 46 is higher, so that is a negative 14. All right? So if you guys have any questions about that, because this is the YouTube video, I will be giving this direct instruction over this lesson as well as working through example problems during the Google Meets, okay? So if you guys have questions, make sure you hop on the Google Meets with me today. I believe I said that's going to be 12:15. This is Tuesday. I'm not sure the date. I don't have my phone in front of me. But I'm going to be hopping on at 12:15 to give this direct instruction via the Google Meets. And I'll also be available at 3 o'clock today. All right? Peace.